Ladies and gentlemen, Square Ring Promotions and New Contenders Boxing, along with the New Jersey Casino Association, in association with your undisputed, undefeated king of beers, Budweiser. This Buds for You present the featured bout of the evening. This bout is sanctioned by the New Jersey State Athletic Control Board, Boxing Commissioner Larry Hazard Sr., Chairman Jerry Gormley, Board members Gary Shaw and Al Daniels, Deputy Commissioner Lawrence Wallace, Chief Physician at ringside Dr. Frank B. Doggett, attending physicians Dr. Dominic Coletta Jr. and Dr. Eric Wormser. The timekeeper is Lindsay Tucker. Counting for the knockdown seconds is Arthur Mercanti, the alternate referee. This bout is also sanctioned by the International Boxing Federation, President Robert W. Lee, supervisor at ringside, Mr. Al Lucas. The three judges scoring this bout on a 10-point must system will be Frank Brunette, Jim Traylor, and Kason Cheeks. And when the bell rings, the man in charge of the action, referee Toni Orlando. And now, ladies and gentlemen, from Atlantic-City, New Jersey, let's get ready to rumble! 12 rounds of boxing for the super middleweight championship of the world. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the red trimmed with silver and white, and weighing in at an even 168 pounds. From Cranston, Rhode Island, he brings a record of 40 victories with only 5 defeats, 27 KOs, and he has captured 4 world titles. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the 4-time world champion, the challenger, the Tasmanian Devil, Vini Pациenza. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the red corner, weighing in also at an even 168 pounds, wearing gold trimmed with black. He brings a professional record of 28-0, 24 KOs, and this 1988 Olympic silver medalist has captured 2 world titles as a professional. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting the undefeated super middleweight champion of the world, Roy Jones Jr.
Okay, gentlemen, you received your pre-fight instructions. Therefore, I wish you good luck. Okay, touch gloves, go back to your corner. Let's go.
Well, the stare down was already impressive. Neither of these guys are timid. There's Roy Jones Jr. And across the way, Vini Pациenza.
Jones smiled at it, knowing that Pациenza was trying to get him out of his game there.
There is a lot of emotion in this building, trust me, folks. The fans, while they are predominantly for... Oh, big left hook by Jones immediately. Wow, he came out blasting.
Vini Pациenza up high there with the bobbing, left himself open. He needs to get close without paying a huge price. Already seeing the speed of Jones.
A right hand gets there by Jones. So far, almost everything Jones has thrown has landed. He's off to a quick start. He's talking to Vini Pациenza. Jones told us today, I won't showboat early because this crowd is going to be against me. They'll really be against me if I showboat early. But if I get the job done early, it'll force me to really concentrate. And that's exactly what he's doing. He is already making Vini Pациenza feel his power. Huge right back. Pациenza off.
He's cut off the ring.
He's landing everything.
Yes. And now Pациenza tries to crouch.
You're right, Dave. He did cut the ring off. Now Pациenza is coming back. Is he landing? Jones laying in the corner, and he flurries his way out. Pациenza with his hand on the ropes, which is illegal, and Toни Orlando breaks him.
That's actually twice thus far in the fight.
Well, Jones said he wouldn't show up, and he gave us his version of the Ali Shuffle. Lots to talk about here early in this first round.
Jones landed 6 inside shots while he was being under attack.
There's the jab of Jones. He wants to use that more, he said. Pациenza with a right that misses. Well, not everyone expected a round 1 with this many fireworks. Now Pациenza moving around what is a very big ring.
And Jones will sit there and try to cut it off, look for a big bomb. He can't miss him with the left hand.
Well, they thought they would have to press Roy Jones. Instead, it's Jones who quickly has Pациenza retreating and lands a counter left hook.
And look where the right-handed Vini Pациenza was as that hook landed. It was down.
So far, Roy Jones can't miss with most of his punches. A half-minute left to go in a very eventful round 1. Pациenza leaping in with the left hook.
And Jones caught him on the counter there as Pациenza leaped. If Jones moves a little bit laterally, he'll land a right hand from that position, which would be far more devastating.
Pациenza pushing Jones. He'll want to use these roughing tactics. They'd be up to Toни Oрландо to keep control. Pациenza on the attack, gets the right hand in. And at the bell, they jawed each other. I said there was emotion in this building, and it's not just coming from the stands. Good round for Roy Jones Jr.
All right, that's his line. You got him covered. You hit him, just don't slow him down. Let him keep going like that. That's good. He's working the jab. He's working the jab and knocking that right hand hook in on him. You catch him. I know it. I know it. Keep your back to the center of the ring. Don't go toward the ropes, though. Don't go toward the outside. Okay. Okay. All right, here you go. Wipe his head off. Wipe his head off. All right, doing good.
It did not take long for the fireworks. This is second into the battle, leaping left hook, and Jones has Pациenza's attention right away. Nailed him with that. Now at the end of the round, Vini Pациenza gets it going to the body, roughing up there, and this is the end of the round. Some extracurricular activities and some jawing followed that.
So we head into round 2. It's scheduled for 12. And if they're all like round 1, we're going to have a lot of fun here. Jabs in round 1. Pациenza threw 5, landed 1. Jones landed 11 of 26. They said earlier, both men, they had to win the battle of the jabs. And there's the total numbers.
Well, Vini Pациenza was caught right away and was unable to settle into the jabbing mode, whereas Jones immediately got himself established there. Jones has the reach. It will be hard for Vini Pациenza to get this jab going.
He's going to have to get on the inside, Pациenza, to be sure. Against smaller fighters, when he was a lightweight and junior welterweight, he could box from the outside, Dave, but Jones is a true middleweight or super middleweight. He's taller, he's got the reach. Hard for Pациenza to do this.
The only fighters who gave Vini problems worst, Garza and Mayweather, taller fighters with the big jab. They could control him from out there.
Pациenza looking for a way to attack Roy Jones.
He's trying to bob and weave, but he's back. And he's not moving forward as he bobs and weaves. He needs distance when he does that.
Well, they thought, he and Kevin Rooney, and Rooney even enunciated it, there's a good hook by Pациenza. They thought they'd have to chase Roy Jones. Not so much in this fight.
That was a nice shuffle step by Pациenza to set up his left hook.
Well, he wants to feint on the way in so he can get Roy Jones thinking about something else. A concerted effort by Jones to jab. He does not jab that much normally, and he wanted to get back to that punch. He has so far in this fight. There's Pациenza trying to work his way in with the jab. Pациenza, the 32-year-old former lightweight champion, was moved way up in weight.
In that he became a stronger puncher as he moved up.
Which is not always the case with fighters. You saw a moment ago the fact that Pациenza does slip punches well. He slipped the right, got hit with the left. People shouldn't underestimate his defensive abilities. We're in round 2. It's scheduled for 12. Round 2 has been a little more timid than round 1. More of a chess match.
More like one bomb at a time.
Good right by Pациenza. I'll tell you what, he's hitting Jones more early than James Toney did. Some of those blocked, but some are getting in. Good right by Pациenza.
He's really crowding him here nicely.
This time, those punches are getting there. Whether they're hurting Jones, I don't know. Jones comes back after him. Maybe Roy Jones' pride was hurt by that. He's shaking his head saying, okay, you did something. Well, Vini Pациenza gives these fans something to cheer about. And guess what? The fight is on.
You gotta throw the punches, then you box him. Just like that, Vinny. That was good. Very good. Very good. Very good. Right there in the end. You gotta do it all the time. Look, you're doing a lot of good feinting. You just gotta go in the chair. And if you feint your way coming in. Take that step in. You know what I mean? Don't just feint from like that. Feint, move in. Because you're gonna move fast. Then fight a hard seven and feint.
Pациenza really checking in here at the end of the round. Nice right hand. Pushes Roy Jones off. Look at the movement by Pациenza. Spinning into everything. Good movement here. Gets the hands going. And really, maybe they were blocked, but the psychological advantage of those shots here, that one got in. The psychological advantage to Vini Pациenza by this is huge.
And you know what, Dave? You hit on a very important point. He didn't stand right in front of Roy Jones as James Toney did. He moved from side to side, and Jones had a hard time blocking those punches. Well, will Roy Jones allow himself to be caught on those ropes much? We'll see. Here in round 3, the confidence of Pациenza is boosted. Now, still the big edge in total punches for Jones, but in that last round, Pациenza at least was able to get something going.
That was certainly a defining moment in this bout.
Good left, kind of left hook by Jones. Pациenza showboat, and Jones showboat back.
The no showboat promise is over.
Good hook by Jones, and Pациenza nearly went through the rope. Pациenza's people are very distressed about how loose these ropes were, and the reason they're loose, let's be honest, Jones wants to lay against them. His guys promoted this fight. They want those loose ropes.
And Vini Pациenza was almost on our lap.
And those loose ropes are dangerous because if a Pациenza falls out and hurts himself or Jones, this fight's over and in the wrong way. We're in round 3. Scheduled for 12. Already more intrigue in this fight against Jones than many we have seen before. Maybe the only other one was Bernard Hopkins, and that really wasn't an exciting fight.
Because that was Jones staying on the outside and winning that fight with his jab. This is a true fight. It's the skills plus the street fight aspect brought into it. Now, Vini Pациenza brings it out of everybody he fights.
And when he chases, Jones is going straight back, which is a little uncharacteristic of him. Good left hook by Jones, but it doesn't stop Pациenza. With a minute left to go in round 3, Jones has landed some pretty good left hooks, but so far, it doesn't appear to have hurt Vini Pациenza.
Now, he's taking some big shots, too, and he keeps on coming in now.
Again, the hook. Pациenza thinking that it didn't hurt him. Under a minute left to go, but this has not been a bad round for Roy Jones, despite the antics of Pациenza.
And Pациenza can't punch while the antics are going on, so he's losing points as well. He needs to goad Roy Jones into this type of a mentality here, and Jones is not going for it too much. At times, yes, but overall, no.
Well, a very effective round for Roy Jones, despite the fact that Pациenza has won the theatrics. Good right by Jones, and there's blood from the nose of Vini Pациenza. Now the punches are getting there from Jones, and I mean getting there repeatedly. Good.
Tremendous speed by Jones. Absolutely tremendous speed by Jones. He puts it through the head shots.
Well, in round 3, Roy Jones celebrates at the end of the round with a little dance as a tired Vini Pациenza goes back to his corner.
You got to keep your defense tight, man. Okay. You got to keep your defense tight when you get closer. Okay. You got to do that. Win. More, not my neck. On your neck? On your neck? Come on. Come on, baby. Keep your hands up, baby. Don't fuck around with it. Yeah. Drink.
Well, Jones shows his marksmanship here. The good jab, the right hand follows. Big right hand after that, and some hooks afterward.
What would have happened had that last left hook landed?
We'd be doing the post-fight run.
Yes, we would. You are correct. We head into round 4. Roy Jones in the second defense of his IBF super middleweight title. Scoring could be intriguing in this fight, and Phil Berger, who's been doing our scoring all evening. Phil, how do you see it?
I've got it 30 for Roy Jones, 28 for Vinny Paz. Vinny Paz is gutty. Roy Jones is quick. Quick is winning.
So you have Pациenza winning 1 round. One round even, excuse me.
And Jones with an awesome round in round 3. And to land that much out of 48 punches strong, what economy.
You watch, folks. Interesting to see if any judge would have scored that round for Vinny Pациenza, thinking about the annex. Well, look at this. That's one I haven't seen. But in the meantime, it's Jones doing all the effective work. And Jones chasing Vinny Pациenza, now pushing him back.
Jones saved his dancing for after the round with round 3. Vinny Pациenza doing it during the round. He needs to shake Roy Jones up. He needs to make Jones fall into the trap of coming straight at him. He's been trying very hard with that.
And Dave, don't you think a big difference in this fight has been that for the first time in many fights, Jones is really using his jab as an effective tool.
Using it, and when do you see Vinny Pациenza backing up? He's usually coming straight forward, paying the price for coming in, whatever that is. This is a unique situation of Vinny Pациenza basically having to tap dance in a fight.
Well, and when he has boxed, it's been more for effect rather than because he had to. More than halfway through round 4. Good right by Jones. Pациenza says no, but meanwhile he's not landing. And a double left hook by Jones. Well, now they're jawing at each other again.
Well, when it comes time to the theatrics, they're both trying to get points on artistic merit here.
I think the Russian judge gave him a 9.7.
The dancing steps have been good.
Cut around the left eye of Pациenza. He is swollen around that left eye already. About a half minute left to go here in round 4.
And these are slashing jabs by Jones.
And I think the only reason Jones isn't landing more is Vinny Pациenza, who has come up in weight, is still a very quick fighter. Quicker maybe than a lot of the super middleweights that Jones would face. A lot of blood from the nose of Pациenza and a little bit under the left eye. His hands are low, he's getting nailed by Jones. Pациenza cannot get anything going offensively.
He needs to be closer, can't do it.
Cutting him up bad. Cutting him up bad. On my head. Yeah, that's my head mostly. Just keep doing what you're doing. All right. I got it. Good. There you go. Just keep doing what you're doing, baby. Looking good. Good control. Way to work. Both sides, right and left, is swelling up now. You done got him cut on his left and right a little bit. Just keep working him some. All right, on here. Okay, baby. Your show.
Jab working on the eyes here by Roy Jones. Either side, the quick snake-like jab gets it either way, and the swelling is building up around the eye area of Vinny Pациenza for this reason. See that jab right by the eye area? It doesn't take too many of those. Plus, if there's a slashing motion at the end of the jab, that makes it worse.
As we head into round 5, an astonishing statistic from the last round. Vini Pациenza threw 5 punches, landed none. It's the first time in CompuBox history that has happened over an entire round, ever since punches have been counted by that organization.
An amazing statistic.
Wow.
There have been a couple instances where it was 1 or 2 punches, and they were heavyweights. Certainly not guys down at this level.
And he only threw 5. Jones is going after him now. Good hook by Jones. Well, for the first time in his career, let's be honest, Vini Pациenza is being hit by a much bigger man.
And a much faster man.
I mean, when I say a bigger man, even though Pациenza is the same size, Roy Jones Jr. is much more of a natural 160, 168 pounder. Pациenza started a lot lighter.
Now, this is something that Pациenza did against Duran. He could get away with. He can't against Jones. He can't pick his spot and just walk in as he did against the slower fighter. Here, if he comes in, if he's not perfect, he will get tagged.
And he has been hit repeatedly by counter left hooks. That is what led to 5 punches being thrown by Pациenza in the last round.
And for somebody of his energy, that's even more amazing.
Jones holding on the inside, and so Pациenza gives him an elbow. And a number of Toни Oрландо trying mightily to break these fighters. He's going to have to play a role. And now there's a cut over the right eye of Pациenza. I wonder what that came from. Did it come from a clash of heads or an elbow? And Jones says, don't hit me with your elbow. Jones told us today, did he not? If Pациenza's dirty with me, I'll be dirty with him. He may have replied with an elbow. Turning into a street fight. And the shower of blood hits us here at ringside. Good hook by Jones.
Jones just a little faster. Pациenza with a big heart there. Also got some shots in.
Good counter left hook by Jones.
Now with that eye the way it's getting for Pациenza, it will even be harder to see a jab he's had trouble seeing to begin with tonight.
The left eye is swollen underneath. The nose is cut.
Roy Jones can stay on the outside and win just about 12 to 12 rounds anytime he wants. He gambles selectively.
Nice uppercut by Jones, but he doesn't rush in. He's not a fighter that takes chances. He just isn't. Under a half minute left to go in round 5. It's been another excellent round for Roy Jones. Cut over the left and right eye for Vini Pациenza.
And Jones told us this morning he's even less inclined to take a chance later if he's way up on the scorecards.
Well, what is the ruling on that cut on the right eye? Would it have come from a clash of heads or a punch?
You all right? You all right? Yeah, Richie. Just counter punch. Back, you know? Yeah, I know he's doing that. Yeah, that's no good. That's no good. You're not putting any kind of pressure on him. I know it's tough. Punches. You gotta get on him. You gotta get on him. Okay. You gotta get on him. That's all you can do.
Vinny, if you pull your tongue out, you're gonna get it cut.
Okay.
Leave your tongue in your mouth.
Close your eyes. Close your eyes. Close it good. Close it good. I can't keep telling you. Close it good. Don't open your eyes. I know, bro. Give me a drink. Give me a drink. Go. Okay. Okay. Your legs down.
That's an astonishing statistic, Dave.
Well, that means 3 punches in 2 rounds of total jabs. Not very much for Pациenza. He told it between the rounds, I just can't reach this guy. We made the point at the top of the telecast how he could get closer. It's been the mystery he cannot solve here.
We head into round 6. Roy Jones Jr. told us unequivocally the key to this fight was his jab. It is a punch he has underused, some feel, in recent fights. That's bad news for future super middleweights. If he gets that jab working again like he has tonight, he's going to be an even more difficult foe.
And when you take a look at his reflexes, there's no reason why that jab would not work in future fights. It's there.
And as an amateur, was a primary weapon. There's the move by Jones that he wants. Spin off the ropes. Don't lay there against Pациenza. Nice body work, too, by Jones.
Pациenza feigning the jab, but again, as he bombs, he's still too high. He's going to go side to side. He leaped before and got in position, but what a dilemma.
And the double and triple jabs of Jones are keeping him off. Oh, huge advantage in the jab by Roy Jones Jr. And he's working on those cuts. No indication the cuts were caused by anything but punches. And of course, even if they were and they had to stop this fight and go to the scorecards, Jones would likely be ahead. So that isn't good news for Vini Pациenza. Pациenza lunging in.
And that's where he's vulnerable, like most fighters against Jones are. He must gamble in a big way to get to Roy Jones, and Jones makes him pay.
And Roy Jones is not running, he's moving. There's a difference.
Now, the movement is very subtle. It's smaller circles, it's off to the left, and he always knows where Vini Pациenza is coming in. Jones with the low hand, a lure, so he can shoot it up faster. And Pациenza, this is his chance. Whatever he does here, he has to unload it. That's what he is doing.
He's using his elbows, his head, his arms, grabbing and throwing punches as well.
Even if you get knocked out here as Vini Pациenza, that's the chance. That's the time to open up and go for everything.
Good body work by Jones. He works Pациenza on the inside, pushes him back. Good hook, didn't hurt Pациenza, and the uppercut. Pациenza's in trouble, ready to go.
He is robbed from being it.
There is about a half minute left to go. The right eye is almost closed. Pациenza feigning that he's okay, but he's not okay. He's not even close to being okay.
One big shot could end it here.
That's another knockdown. There's no 3 knockdown rule in effect here.
They've got to be very close to stopping, and even if he gets through, you have to be concerned about his health and safety here because he's tired and he is wide open.
It is over. Roy Jones Jr. has defended his IBF junior middleweight title and done it in grand fashion.
When Roy Jones opens up, he does not let you off the hook.
Roy Jones knocks Vini Pациenza out with some superb counterpunching, and then, Dave, as you pointed out, when he had Pациenza in trouble, he went after him, and his power was simply too much.
And the speed, and just the fact that he can fire potent left hands from all angles.
And I think the difference really was that this is a powerful puncher at the 160, 168-pound division. Pациenza has just not faced a guy who punches in that weight division so hard.
And also anybody that can make him pay for the lack of reach here. As Roy Jones comes in and just unloads when Vini Pациenza can't stop him. Well, here's the retrospective. Jones back. Here's the big left hook. Tremendous shot there. Pациenza in trouble. Tremendous left uppercut. Hook follows. Jolting right hand. The glove. That time, Vini Pациenza hurt himself by using the ropes to stay up because he took a big shot. He did not need to. Tremendous hook by Jones. Here's the angle. The movement by Jones, spinning into his shots. Vini Pациenza hands down. Referee should be there maybe even a little sooner here because Pациenza's hands are down. Awesome shot there. That is a wicked punch by Jones. A hook, an uppercut, a right hand from every angle. When Vini Pациenza's hands on the rope, referee's got to be right there, and he is, but Vini Pациenza took too much, and here, that is simple pain, and how many guys can land a tremendous hook and an uppercut and then spin off and immediately within milliseconds get into position to throw another big shot? Well, here's the crescendo leading here. First the one shot and the delayed reaction knockdown there as Pациenza, hurt by one, gets up. And this is the end, as Pациenza had been in trouble anyway, and Jones will finish it off with a flurry. Vini Pациenza cannot stop this kind of speed and power, and you are in peril when you are in this type of a situation. Second knockdown, a quick one. Jones comes in, Pациenza hits the fatigue, the temple shot gets him, and this is the Rockets' red glare. The Rocco sisters point out. Jones unleashing everything, the good balance, and he's even looking like he's almost slowing it down so that Toни Oрландо can get there and put a halt to this thing.
And you know, Toni Oрландо, Dave, was trying to almost get in to stop Roy Jones Jr., couldn't get in time. And, you know, looking at these replays, you almost feel we don't even appreciate the hand speed of Roy Jones. That second knockdown we saw before, so quick in the counterpunches.
These are slow motion here.
Yes.
Yeah, and the speed by Jones, and what's uncanny is that he gets the speed from all the different angles. A normal fighter here would have to set himself 5 times to land the punches Jones landed while on the run. That's simply awesome.
That's an extraordinarily good point, and it shows you why Roy Jones Jr. is so special. Wow. Look at those numbers.
More than 50% for Jones, and Pациenza simply outman with that speed.
The official time.
Michael Buffer.
A round of applause for the game challenger who came in here tonight, the comeback kid from Rhode Island, Vini Pациenza. The official time, 2 minutes, 58 seconds of round number 6. The winner by knockout victory, and still the undefeated super middleweight champion of the world, Roy Jones Jr.
Roy Jones Jr.